big wheel keeps on spinning. Spinning round to live stream. Hey everybody. How's it going? It's a live stream. We're doing some painting today. Thanks for joining everybody in here. Got a few folks in the chat. Dad, good to see you. Craig, good to see you. Craig Steinhoff. Justin. What's up, Yuri? How you doing? I don't really need to say. I was talking to you like five minutes ago. But hi. How are you? How's everybody doing? Yeah, we're gonna do some painting today. It's it's high train o'clock because 10th edition is out, or the rules are out at least. And I've got an event coming up at the end of the month here in Toronto. So I'm gonna get this going. Let me know, Raptor, getting echo. Thank you. Let me know how the audio and stuff is sounding. OBS is being a bit odd at the moment. So let me see what I can do about that. We'll do some tweaking. Announcer at a stadium. Well, that's not what we want. Hold on a sec here, gang. No, that's not it. Oh yeah, I hear it now too. What's that all about? Can you hear me now? Did I just mute it? Let me know what's happening. Better? Nice. Ha! Fuck it. We'll do it live. Speaking of which, we're doing it live. Raptor, hi from Montreal. Hi from Toronto. Nice to see you. How's the smoke over there? Because it's not great here right now from the fires. Well, gang, we got a couple things on deck today that we could do, and I'm going to leave it to the chat. Like I mentioned, got a 40K event coming up end of June, beginning of July. It's like a 10th edition kickoff thing. And boys and girls, my Dark Angels are so close. I've got like 2 squads left to go before we got 2,000 points. Well, we don't know what points look like now, but I will have somewhere in the ballpark of 2,000 points. So I'm going to let you guys decide what we tackle. I've got a shit ton of intercessors that need to be edge highlighted. My least favorite thing to do, but it's got to be done. And then we've also got some old school Deathwing Terminators. Oh my God, so bright white with the bone on that. That also needs some work to get done. So, and a little surprise, we've got at the bottom, Taster's Choice, a Watcher in the Dark. We could do that as well. So I will leave it to the chat. The first thing I see is what I'll start painting. So Space Marine, Terminator, or Watcher Boy. Let me know. I'm gonna get the palette ready here. I need some Caliban green one way or another. Tenth edition. Let's talk. I'm excited. I think it's looking good. I was mentioning in our Discord that like 40K feels like a weird Watcher Boy. Watcher Boy it is. We're on. I was kind of hoping that's what everyone would say. They're my favorite. They're little mysterious dudes. Nobody knows exactly what they're up to. Are they warp creatures? Are they... I don't know. But they're my favorite, and they're amazing. So we're going to dry brush this guy with these new fancy $4 makeup brushes that I got at the dollar store. Because... we're cheap. Space Puppies out again, Raptor. Yeah, well then. You and I, should we meet on the tabletop, we'll have to declare a duel. One of my favorite bits of Space Marine lore is Dark Angels and the Space Wolves beef. Steve got into 40K literally a month before they announced 10th. Good man. Bummed you invested in a bunch of stuff for 9th. Yeah, it's the Necrons, right? If memory serves. Just going to do some dry brushing on this guy just to get some details brought out. We'll do some contrasting, I think. Tempted brush, bust out the airbrush, but this guy would be done in like 18 seconds. So, because he's so tiny. Necrons and Black Legion. Challenge accepted. Traitor faction. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. You know, I'm actually, as of last night, just started reading, listening to the audiobook of Son of the Forest. And I'm rather excited by what it shall reveal about my Primarch and his glorious return. But yeah, hype train for 10th. I'm about it, you know. Like I was saying, 40K kind of fills this hole for me. Where I just get to do it for fun. I mean, the channel stuff, it's not like it's not fun, but you know, it's different. There's a schedule to it and you know, things of that nature. So 40K, I just get to paint little dudes and not worry about it too much. Like I'm just looking at you guys while I'm dry brushing our watcher here. We're gonna need a name for this guy, gang. Current watchers in my army consist of Wally, the watcher, in green. This guy will probably end up green too. And then we got Winston, and that's the accompanying watcher for Azrael. But this guy don't have no name. You can see I've got a W theme, so we can stick to that or something different. Okay, getting somewhere. You can see we got just black primer. I've just used was Necromancer cloak, so a darker gray. I'm probably gonna do 3 different dry brushings, gray to white. Woods, the watcher. Woohoo! Got a contender. Woods, our man Woods. We have a couple more of these guys if and when can ever track down the lion himself. But you know what, gang? I'm not choked about the pre-order situation. I am and I'm not. It needs to get better, but I'm really can't be fucked at this point. Like, I mean, my main game's Fallout these days, so we want to talk about supply chain issues. Modifius, my gang, almost just drank paint water. That was close. Anyway, yeah, so the pre-order situation needs to get rectified. I don't know how that happens. So, shameless plug for a company we're not sponsored by, but we wear their gear on stream and we like their beer. So, Mind Flayer IPA from Chronicle Brewery is what I'm going to be having a bevy here tonight. Oh, that's eldritchly good. You know, I'm not actually an IPA guy. Like, as much of a hipster as I probably really am, I never got on board the IPA train, but that's nice. Craspu, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Good to see you. It's been a minute. Hi to everybody. Oh, nobody listened to Justin and Yuri in chat. He's a dirty towel player, so. But he's got a beautifully painted squad on the go. His army's gonna look so good. The guy who painted it is really handsome and has a YouTube channel. It's me. Woods the Watcher. So I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir, but yeah, just adding some lighter and lighter highlights with loving this $4 brush set. Go Dollarama. And we'll do one more. Should bust out one of these smaller brushes too. Another plug for something we're not sponsored by. Doing well, very busy with work. Yeah, tell me about it, bud. Work has been work-like. But you know what? It's a living. Here we go. Look at that. We got a watcha. Even out the sword here. Okay. I'll let that dry for a hot second. And then we'll come back with another layer of white because we're going to contrast paint this bad boy. Default, go with some Dark Angels green with Warp Lightning. That's how I like my Dark Angels mix. Or we could get a little funky. I've got a green one, got a purple one, could go with another purple. That's Black Legion. That's not the right paint. Maybe they are a traitor legion. Shh. Don't tell. Or purple. There it is. List for 2v2 match of bolt action on Thursday. You know, I've not tried bolt action, but it looks like a lot of fun. The historical stuff I've never really gotten into. Not for any particular reason. It's just the way it is. I haven't enough games, but I hear really good things. That and the minis look really cool, though. I've looked at them and very nearly bought some to use as like Actung Cthulhu proxies. Ooh, Shatterpoint. Steve-O, no, not yet. And it's gonna happen. But I resisted the initial jump. I think mainly because, kind of like yourself, I had just gotten into Legion when around the time Shatterpoint came out, and sort of was just getting to grips with that game. And I was like, oh, fuck, another Star Wars game. But like, it also looks like it's probably more my speed, skirmish size, slightly larger scale. But the thing that really irked me was the scale difference from Legion. Like, it's just not doable, right? And I just love it when shit like that works out. But I know why they did it. It just makes good business sense. But the game looks so fun. Looking a little chalky here. Wet my brush just a bit. Get a little more damp than not. Speaking of Warhammer, left the scene a few months ago. Days it comes back to my mind like PTSD flashbacks when you look at your wallet. Yeah, dog. Me too. I've been on the oh shit. I went way too heavy. That's okay. It's on the back. We'll correct. I've been going on the like old hammer, cheap eBay sort of route to get this last bit of this army good to go. And even then, it is an expensive game inside an expensive hobby. So I feel you on that. Ooh, my camera's gone hanky janky. Just went into the warp there for a second. Yeah, the Clone Wars style. Very true. And it doesn't have that like bloated, heroic look that Legion does. But he's got weird fat features. Actually, the last painting stream we did was Legion. It was the only other painting stream we've done so far. Let me know what you guys think of these. I want to do them more often. I'm painting most nights, but also, life or what counts for it these days. Okay. I think that's about as much give a shit as I've got for this guy. Which isn't a lot, to be honest. He's looking good. Mighty spooky. I think it's going to be purple for this guy. We got a green, got a purple, but he's on Azrael's base. Like he can't come off. So we'll go with that. Expensive hobby, yeah. Tell me about it. One-page rules. Yeah, what's a Grimdark Future? Which the one-page rules stuff, I've looked at many a rule sheet of theirs, and it's super cool. Miniature agnostic stuff, brilliant. We got the little woods here dry. In the meantime, just gonna quickly knock out his base. Which I went on like a basing tear like a month ago for this army, and I just sat down over a weekend and based. It was based, bruh. So the base is ready. But he is not. Why is every paint I want, oh, there we go, right in front of me, but not on the rack? There we go. For the base rim, I'm using a model called Vallejo, which there's a third Spanish language trick in there that my tongue just can't do. But goddamn, if this ain't the blackiest black I ever did use. Next to the Muso Black, the world's blackest paint. Which is gorgeous, but I've used it like 3 times. It's legit too black. None more black. Let me know what you guys think about the tunes as well. Stream Beats by Harris Hellier. So I go to chill and paint jams. Yeah, the 10th edition stuff being free for the rules is great. I have a feeling that we're going to see more sort of drop stuff like that, which is great. I don't know why there's staggering shit. Like, the rules came out last week, and the data sheets for the box set that's coming out in 3 weeks came out yesterday or whatever it is. Like, you've got this shit. Like, let's go. But I'm excited for I wanted to get this army done for 9th. There was like a 9th sort of send-off thing that I was like, I'm gonna get this army, it's gonna be done, it's gonna be good to go, we're gonna make it happen. Didn't make it happen. Ticket sold out, army wasn't painted, wasn't meant to be. But good to go for 10th. That's the goal. And if I get that one goddamn game in, I'll be a happy camper. So, Shyish Purple, Contrast Paint. I'm going to go ahead and just put a couple drips of this on the palette. And then it's rather dark. So I'm going to highlight it with Alien Purple, which is like one of my favorite colors just to exist. It's just Tyranid purple. It's beautiful. But I'm going to put some contrast medium into the raw dog stuff, just because the flow dries a little slower and it lightens it up just a bit to go from that's a really purpley black to, oh, that's a dark purple, which sounds like the same thing, but there is a difference. All right, little buddy, let's go. Staggering build type. Yeah, I know. Like, unless you're an Ultramarine player and want to play that box set, which I don't, like, I have no interest in the Flame Troopers. Terminators are Terminators, but like, those are Ultramarine Terminators with like no war gear options. Like, okay, I'll take weapons from the Dark Age for 5,000, Alex. Give me plasma or give me death. Sometimes both, if you roll a 1. So like, yeah, like Space Wolves, Iron Hands, Imperial Fists. I almost said Iron Warriors, and I was like, oh. Yeah, like all the other chapters. I mean, we have to wait a week. Big whoop. But people could be out there playing games, right? Like if I'm G-dubs, that's what I want. But also, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So why would this be me? Woods the Watcher. Yeah, not interested in Smurfs. A Terminator Captain, that's cool. But like, I got Terminator Captains. They're tiny now. It's like those data cards are cool if you want the Leviathan box or you're a Salamanders player. Tyranids are fucking cool. Oh, the one thing I want the box for, if I were to throw down, which I won't, is the Nids. They're so cool. Oh, Chaos Termies. Yeah, dude. I'm the whole sort of range refresh. I mean, Marines will always be, you know, the poster boys, but like they look like the poster boys now. Yeah, them nids, Screamer Killer. Yeah, and like the Brain Bug. Oh, those guys look so cool. And like they look like a joy to paint. Like compared to, you know, Edge Highlight City and just like they're all kind of cool and different. And well, I'm sure it's the same. You paint, you know, 20 Termagants, and you're like, okay, I'm done. But Corbin, how you doing, bud? Yes, you too were a Dark Angels player back in the day. 4th edition. That might be actually. I think the last real, honest to God game of 40K I had would have been 5th or 6th. Can't recall. 6th at the latest with like, you know, doing it right. Actually, Necrons, Steve were my first love. Still my favorite Xenos. Although I have to say, in my old age, there's something about the orcs that are becoming appealing. I'll be curious with this whole the Ogram thing, the live community campaign that they're running. It'll be interesting to see if anyone doesn't know. It's like a running campaign where if you're playing Space Marines versus Tyranids, you log the results on this app, and the results of the games will inform the in-universe lore about what happens to this planet. And it also will determine who gets the reveals of all their models next. Tyranids or Space Marines. So I'm curious if anyone's gonna poison the well with any numbers fudging, because that's a really cool initiative and a really cool thing. And I would really hate for like some Chads to fuck it up because they really want to see the new Jump Pack Assault Marines. Like that would suck. But I have hope because it's a cool idea. And I'd be lying if I said when I heard it, I didn't say, oh fuck, I'm gonna steal that. So more on that later. But yeah, cool idea. And would be neat to do like a living community campaign. Friends of the channel, Ryan Gale, and the gaming group he plays with here in Ontario did something similar, which was pretty cool. And yeah, it's giving me some food for thought about how we could do something in the community there, you know? Repurpose. Correct, Raptor. It's a good idea. If it's a good idea, it should be shared. And it should be universally recognized as a good idea. And imitation, finest form of flattery. Whatever. It's a good idea. It's a good idea. Okay. Woods the Watcher is looking rather purpley. Couple darker sort of filling spots here. Excuse me. How rude. Yeah, go check out Chronicle Brewery. It's good stuff. We drink their stuff all the time. When Justin comes down to game and field videos stuff, brings me like a 6-pack of these, and they're awesome. We are get no kickbacks, but go tell them we sent you. Justin works for the company. In fact, it's kind of the other way around. He provides them with services and labor. It's a new thing. Might be catching on. It's called capitalism. Sucks. All right. He's looking mighty fine. Little man in the watcher. Let's do some highlights. Oh, actually, I see the spot. A little shadowing there. Yeah. Just love that color. Okay. Hydration break. Everybody take a drink. Organized play in RPGs. It's been around for a long time. Yeah. Do not play many war games, but ITVO is a good way to engage the community. It is. It is indeed. Actually, another friend of the channel, War Budgies, had a similar live campaign for War Machine, actually, which John's been up to some interesting stuff with Privateer Press and War Machine. The game's not my cup of tea. It's a little too fantasy steampunk to be my niche, but goddamn, if he isn't making some cool campaigns and add-ons with them for them, and just some awesome paint jobs. But the man is busy. Alien Purple. Watchers are aliens, right? Something like that. Steve, a community war would be wild. Be very curious to see what faction takes over the wasteland. Yeah, that's kind of my thought, right? Because there's like so many different factions and whatnot, I think it would have to be something like, whether it's like faction based or like maybe people can make their own like teams of factions or something. That might be a little more complicated. Sorry. Got a weird echo. I've got the echo in my headphones, so I've got the delay of myself in my head and ignoring it and talking over it. It's weird. But yeah, like having like, you know, squads or teams or something might be a little too laborious. I gotta say, I had a realization the other day in that super mutants are my main for Wasteland Warfare. It started by, I was just reorganizing my shelves and looking at my models. And I went, damn, I got a lot of mutants. And I started counting. And that's where things went off the rails. Holy shit. My mutant collection eclipses absolutely every other faction. And then I looked on the app and I had like 8 or 9 different super mutant lists. It's like, oh damn. I learned something about myself today. I hope this doesn't awaken anything in me. It did. I've actually got a plans for a Children of the Cathedral themed mutant warband that's been staring me in the face for several weeks. But my painting for stuff that's not going on TV on the channel right now has been all these Dark Angels. I'm a man with a mission. Get this army done. And then start another one. But it won't be Marines. If I can tell you that. Nids are appealing. Going back Necrons would also be fun. But I think it's gonna be Tau from my boy. I know Justin's never gonna paint him himself, but if I paint them for him, he will play with me. I should really like painting Tau. Get his big old cuffs. Got your wizard sleeve. Not that wizard sleeve. Mine's out of the gutter. Paint yourself an opponent. Correct. It started as painted Justin a little diorama scene of some fire warriors stranded in a swamp. And I gave him to him for his birthday. He's like, here, man, happy birthday. It's like, cool. Well, I'm just going to leave him here so we can play with him. It's like, okay, perfect. I guess I'll paint more. And that's friendship. A little watered down. There we go. Yeah. Nothing better than when you feel like you've got like the right consistency on your paintbrush when you didn't before. It's like, oh yeah, that's the spot. Tau will survive for the greater good. I mean, they are like, if you can make an argument for a quote unquote good guy in 40K, which is hard. I'm not just saying that because they've got good in their motto, but they kind of got it figured out. Don't fuck with chaos. Don't fuck with the warp. Just weird little hoof dudes being nice through the galaxy and killing anyone who gets in their way. But that's everybody. They brought back squats. They did indeed. Which is cool. I kind of forget that Votan exists every now and then. I'm like, oh yeah, right. That was unexpected. It's a good pull though, the April Fool's joke. And then, oh no, it wasn't a joke. Squats are back. It's quite clever. All right, Woodsy, you're looking pretty well. A little brighter on the top of his hood. Smudge that a bit. I'm a big believer in the smudge. Natural edge highlight. There we go. Looking good. Some shadow there. We're just kind of going free ball with the volumetrics on this one. You can tell my give a shit on this army is like going down brush stroke by brush stroke. That said, I am quite proud of it once it's done. There we go. Little guy. Little guy. See the back of his robes now. And his sword. I might do another quick highlight to mix in some white, but I also might not. Nobody's really looking at the watchers anyway. Down just a bit more of a glaze. Yeah. Yeah. That's better. Some large flat areas. I don't want them to be bright, but not that dark. That's all right. Take care of some stuff before working on your vampire bike lady. Well, thanks for stopping in, Steve. Good to see you, man. Keep up the good work. And we'll see you soon. In Discord, I'm sure. Yeah, and if anyone isn't already, please follow the links in the description there to our Discord. It should be in the description. Yeah, join us on there. Get some chatting in. Talking Fallout. Cracking jokes. Hobbying. 3D printing. You name it. There we go. Look at this little guy. He's so cute. Let's paint a sword. Dun-dun-dun. Gunmetal. Army painted. To mix in just a drop of uniform gray. Just to tone it down just a bit. Whoa. We've gone cattywampus again. There we go. That's better. Devin Shipwreck. Oh, my audio dropped. There we go. That's better. Devin Shipwreck. How's it going, bud? Howdy. Howdy one. Howdy all. We're painting little dudes. Woods the Watcher. Put it up to the chat vote. Space Marine, Terminator, or Watcher in the Dark. And without fail, Watcher in the Dark. Which is actually a really nice break. Because it's been Intercessor week. I'm not gonna lie, it's been Intercessor a couple of weeks. Because That's why. Like, they're so cool. They're so fucking laborious to paint. Especially Dark Angel shit, just because everybody's got a book or a censure or something on them, and it's detail on detail. Which is one of the reasons I love them, but it's also sometimes you just want to paint them blue and throw an Ultramar symbol on the shoulder and call it a day. I was actually watching a very interesting video. Tabletop Minions. Was it Tabletop Minions or was it Ninjon? Either way, I'm sure chat probably saw it too. But it was discussing and talking about the uber detailness of current GW releases and how it kind of takes some of the fun out of it. And it like rang a bell for me. It's like, fuck yes. Give me a flat surface that I can paint some shit on. Doing good, Devin. We doing well. We're painting little dudes. Painting watches. Because when you're watching something else, they're watching you. Throw down super quick on this guy. Sword. Some gold. There's a little hilty wing thing. Could paint it white, but kind of like a gold. This isn't actually gold. I use bronze, aka interactive. It's the only gold, or sorry, the only metallic for a gold type color that I found that I enjoy right out of the pot. No fucking around. They can tend to look like too yellow or too brown. And this is kind of right down the middle. For what my eyes tell me gold looks like. But then again, your boy don't have a lot of it, so I don't really have a good frame of reference. Jokes about being poor when all your money goes to miniatures. These are the things we choose to do in our adult life, and I'm all right with it. Quick leather brown from AK Interactive. Also, my favoriteest leathery leather paint. I've been milking this paint pot for like 2 years because I can't find just a bottle of it without buying a whole AK paint set. And so now it's like kind of like a challenge. How far can I make this bottle last? Turns out pretty far. It's a balancing act. Like, okay, I'll just get a little bit out. There's not a lot left. So one wrong squeeze, the last few milliliters, they go. Then I'll just buy a paint set that has it in it. But I'd rather not. So I don't need another camo green. Watcher Dark Angels. Yes, indeed, Frank. Hello. Also, hi, Frank. Yeah, we're painting up Dark Angels. Oh, the camera's gone fucked again. There we go. Yeah, I've got a couple squads left of this Dark Angels army project that I've been working on for the last 6 months. And yeah, I'm almost done. I've got an event coming up like end of June, beginning of July. And my goal is to get this army painted for that. Blood Angels. Nice. The other angels. You know, I got to admit something. I, like very recently, like within the last 3 months, had a come to Jesus moment about the Blood Angels. I was always like, Vampire Marines, boo. But then I did some reading. I read more of the lore about the Black Rage and just like Sanguinius, his whole deal. I was like, oh, fuck. Oh, they're really cool. So I apologize for any ill thoughts towards your honorable chapter, sir or madam. But who said that anyway? Or Frank, right. Yes. The Blood Angels are cool. What do you think? Will Sanguinius ever come back, or is he dead? I think he's dead. But then again, everybody comes back. It's like a fucking Marvel movie these days. Dark Angels did get cool new lore. Man, it's echoing in my ears. Just make me talk funny. Yeah, they're getting some cool new lore. Jesus, Ryan. The just started reading Son of the Forest last night. Because I was looking for an audiobook of it. I found it was $50 fucking. It's like, no way, not doing that. And then I realized it's on Audible, and I have an Amazon account, which gives you free books. So picked Son of the Forest, and I'm gonna grab another Black Library, but I don't know what. I'm gonna probably move away from the Dark Angels. So doing my 3-part bone recipe, which is pretty standard for a lot of Dark Angels players. Xandri Dust, Ushabti Bone, classic Ushabti Bone, and then Screaming Skull. Less and less as it goes, with a mid-brown wash of Army Painter before the Screaming Skull. Aha! My phone reminding me. Hydration break. Cheers. R.C. Walker. Well, as I live and breathe, you old bastard. Haven't seen you around these parts in a minute. Good to see you, pal. So we've hit the 1 hour-ish mark, which is great. Almost done Wally. This is Woods the Watcher. So we'll crank him out super quick. Just finish the sword here. And then we'll go for a little bit longer. Why not? I'm having a good time. If you guys are having a good time, I'm having a good time. Like I say, I would be painting anyway right now. So seems to be when I've got something I need to get done. It's a good time for a live stream. You shop T-bone. Try to do just a little bit less of the surface area. Classic. Create layers. Their weird skull handles are funny because it's like two skulls backed onto each other. So the kind of natural spot of where like the head would curve just keeps going. No, it probably doesn't sound as weird as I'm describing it, but painting it is an odd, like, you know what a head looks like. There's usually not another head on the back of it. Anyway. Now that's a green. Well, yeah, been a day or two. Good to see you. You can tell I'm having a good time here today, folks. We're just gonna knock this out. This ain't some fucking golden demon shit. It's a little purple dude. Good enough for the girls I go with. One down, or two down, one to go. A little heavy there. Excuse me. Thanks to everybody who tuned in to the live show on Sunday. That was a fucking episode. I won't, in case anyone hasn't caught up, I won't spoiler, but Justin, you're weaving a tale, my guy. And I'm so curious to see where it goes. You know what? I don't have time or to give a shit to do a wash on the skull albums on this Watcher's sword, so I'm not going to. Because I don't want to. It would look better, but as stated, don't care. Let's change up the chins. There we go. Now it's playing. There we go. We'll mix up the beats a little bit. Them beats. What's the Watcher? Tiny little guy. But yeah, the hype is real. 10th edition hype is real. I don't know if anybody watched. Highly recommend the most recent Squidmar video where they stayed up for 24 hours to paint the Leviathan box. Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah. And fuck, is it hilarious. They also do an amazing job. Those guys are living the dream. Well then, just like that, we got our boy Woods. Let's pop him on a base, shall we? Oh, one thing I forgot. His booties, or his booty. He's got a little foot there. I like to paint my Watchers. Their foot is the only thing that you get to see of what a Watcher looks like underneath their sacred robes. And I think the working theory is that they've got power armor? Or something akin to it. Probably closer to what, like, the Sororitas, Sisters of Battle, have. A power armor that's not Astartes. And I mean, when you look at this little foot, it's got the same fucking like two-plated thing going on. So I like to think just a little dude in like a wee tiny suit of power armor. I just noticed I got a silver fleck on his noggin from the sword. And now it's gone. See, folks? That's how easy not fucking up is. Just unfuck up. And the little tiny brown like little knot things from whatever is robage. That's a watcho. Watch it. Let's pop him on a base. It's probably the longest anyone's taken to paint a watcher in the dark. But this is about the experience, the thing, you know? Oh, that's strong. All right, buddy. 1, 2, 3, go. Pow. Mark it. 6:03 p.m. Time of life. Woods the Watcher. Bam! Hold on a second. I'm going to go get his buddy. Here we go. Best friends. Get out of here. Best friends. Oh, we got 2. We got Wally, the OG, and we got Woods. Very happy with him. Very happy. There you go. Dos El Watcherunos. One will accompany my Deathwing Knights, and the other will accompany my a 5-man squad of Deathwing Terminators. And they're fun little dudes. They get to, well, they did. I don't know what they're going to do in 10th edition. But for those who may not be Dark Angels players, they negate or can do a deny the witch test. So, anti-psychers. Oh, how are the... It's a good question. You've come to the right place, Franklin, because somewhere, yes, I have both things. Then I can show you as a comparison. Ooh. In fact, here is the T45, the one that I painted up in the Outcasts paint job. Not quite done yet, but it's getting there. And here's an Intercessor. T45's bigger. It's hard to tell flat ground here, but it's about like 1/4 of a centimeter taller, the T45. So, I mean, it's comparable. You know what? They'll probably be spot on for the new Terminator models. The upscaled Primaris, but just Terminators. Yeah, because from what I've seen, so yeah, here's a first gen Terminator who's smaller by a fraction than a new standard Marine, and then these guys. So yeah, I think the Terminators could very well actually, and vice versa, work as proxies. I actually hadn't even thought of that till this very moment. So there you go. Well, gang, we're done with Watcher, but I ain't done painting. So I'm gonna mix it up. I do not want to paint intercessors anymore, so I'm gonna paint this Terminator. I use some Space Marines as Chinese infiltrators. Yeah, make it quite a bit smaller. Yeah, that would work. Yeah, I used an old. I've gone the other way. Like I've used Marines. Oh, I guess it's the same way. I've used, like a Phobos armor Marine as like a player character mini for 2D20 or Wasteland Warfare RPG, actually, back in the day. And I found the size isn't so bad with the T60. The 45s are a bit chunkier, especially in the belly. They got a gunt on them. But let's paint this Terminator, shall we? Halloween! Plan on getting the new Leviathan pack. You know, I actually don't. There's not a lot. The Terminator stuff, the Librarian, the Captain, the Terminator Squad, very much appeal to my Dark Angels sensibilities. But it feels like, for me, the big draw for that box is the Flame Boys for a lot of folks. I don't have any desire for a Flamer squad. Give me Hellblasters all day long. Now, they're a cool unit and they look awesome, but just thematically, it's not what I'm after. But that said, of all things, I want it for the Tyranids. And I don't play Tyranids, but they look so cool. And I could see myself playing Tyranids. I might poke around in the Discords and see if anyone's got like a half they might be looking to part with. There's a really good 40K community on Discord here in Toronto that I've been doing mostly lurking on. And I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of, hey, does anyone have? Or I've got kind of stuff. So just doing some Dark Angels green contrast paint into the Aquila. Looking to start 40K with Tyranids and the main Space Marine stuff I'm interested in as Termies. Yeah, the Terminators are cool. You can see with the tiny boys here, they're long due for a glow up. I already fucked up. Great. Off to a banging start on this one. Honda, good to see you, friend. Thanks for stopping in. Pleasure as always. Surprised if anyone's here. This is a last minute. Fuck it, we'll do a live stream. So, thanks for tuning in, man. Good to see you. An OG friend of the channel, Honda. Yeah, might get some nids yourself there, Frank. Yeah, that's and that's kind of how this army started back in like when I started building it in like 7th edition. Was I was doing Necrons and wasn't a big 40k community where I was living. I was just doing mostly like painting and solo games or the odd game with a friend, and just kind of thought, oh, you know, I'll get some Dark Angels. They're the coolest Space Marine faction, right? Did a quick like, which of these fucking 16,000 factions is the dopest? Settled on Dark Angels, and here we are. You know what? The contrast is betraying me on this. Yeah, we're gonna switch gears. It's not playing really well. The weather's kind of weird here right now in Toronto. It's like super humid, but windy as fuck. So my paint is drying out at a bizarre rate. Like it's not, and then it is. It's very strange. So anyway, it's all coming together. Oh well, we don't need contrast on this anyway. It's just an Aquila. Now realizing, oh fuck, forgot how much I hate painting this part of Deathwing Terminators, because that bone white betrays all brush strokes. So I thought the contrast was going to help me, but made things worse. It don't matter none. I'm actually tempted to, once I get these guys painted, to give them a pretty heavy stipple and or sponging with like a mid brown, like maybe like a Deathclaw brown or something. I'm not usually a fan of like the super grim dark heavy metal. Like I like my guys to kind of look crisp, but there's something about that bone white armor that just looks too perfect right now. Like it looks like it needs some mileage on it, but we'll see. Gotta fix that brush stroke. Main thing is holding back is the fear of painting it all. Yeah, that'll get you. I started the physical part of the hobby recently with NCR. Oh, after finding us. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, it's been a minute, I think, since we've seen you hanging around. Well, it's good you're here. But yeah, no, I get you. It's, you know, whether it's the imposter syndrome stuff or just like the fear of starting something new, I get it. It make me daunting. That's a big box set too. Like each of those armies, you could spend an obscene amount of time painting. Oh yeah, that's the angle. You gotta love it when you find a really weird painting angle that like gets there. Right now I'm over top. Oh yeah. It's a great camera angle, huh? Like, what? Why? It's the juice. There we go. Good enough. Good enough. Let's fix with that contrast paint streaked. Use a different brush. because that one's green. This is the tiniest, weirdest brush I own. I've used it like 3 times for shit exactly like this. Here we go. We're sneaking in. Halloween. What chapter and or what hive fleet do you think you might paint if you got the Leviathan box? I mean, I know it's called Leviathan, and in this newscaster's humble opinion, is probably the coolest hive fleet. Behemoth is up there. With that classic, purple look, so good. Frank M, I plan on zenithal priming and lots of contrast paints for the nids. Yeah, man, that's the way to go. 100%. Get some all the cool colors that you could do. Check out if you haven't already watched. I recommend checking out that Squidmar miniatures video where they paint the nids, and it's super entertaining because it's a challenge video and they're just fucking hilarious. But they also do some really cool airbrush and contrast work on those bad boys. It's bolter time. Vampire Red is my preferred bolter color. And then we will highlight this. Intense. Deep red. Yeah. I don't know why I did that in a German accent, but I did. Bolter time. Oh, they're so big. Chunky ass fucking Stormbolter. I've been painting intercessors for weeks. It's nice to do something different. So to give y'all an idea, and mainly just so I can get it out loud in my head, because that's where this army has been. 2 squads of intercessors, 2 squads of company veterans, a Land Raider Crusader, squad of aggressors, Azrael, Lazarus, 2 lieutenants, and a company champion. In not enough time. And that's just what I'm planning to have this army run as. But this is going to change, because points and everything is getting very different. So I've got a land speeder and Samael on a jet bike, just in case I want to add some Raven Wing. Forget the name of the black and red one. I think that's the Behemoth and Space Wolves for Marines. Yes, black and red, if my Tyranid lore is up, which probably isn't, is Behemoth. And Space Wolves, nice. When I was many moons ago deciding, okay, this is my chapter, it was down to between, I should say, the Dark Angels and Space Wolves. And I was saying to, we had a Space Wolf player in here earlier, that there's a lovely bit of lore between the Dark Angels and Space Wolves where anytime they meet in battle, they can declare a duel, like old school knight style, and fight it out. So if we meet on the tabletop, Helene, I shall issue a duel. It's all in good fun. Our paint here is speed paints. That is a contrast paint equivalent. Yes, what is it? Main thing holding back is if you're painting at all. Yes. Ah, I see. Yes, yeah, Army Painter paints for the Citadel, contrast paints. Yes, the speed paints are nice. I've got something here. Ah, orc skin. Actually, I want to try something. I had such bad luck with the contrast paint. This is about the same. Let's grab another Terminator. And let's just do a quick compare and contrast of these bad boys. Seeing you paint them 40K dudes makes me thinking again. Yeah, it is pricey. I was saying earlier, about a third of this army I outsourced on the cheap. Well, again, cheap in Games Workshop. Yeah. But yeah, most of it's not most, about a third of it is eBay finds, used stuff, that sort of thing. Exactly for that reason. You know, I spend enough on Wasteland Warfare, and oh dang, that's going on smooth. I haven't used this in a minute. It's usually my base tone for Super Mutant skin. But dang, it went on much smoother than it's still going, baby. Okay, we're about to run out. Compared to the Dark Angels green, this is flowing like a dream. Yeah. Shoot, I should have thought of that earlier. That's great, actually. I'm not sure how well you can see. He's so bright. He's kind of blowing it out. But comparatively, compared to just the regular Dark Angels green, I like this. Well, shit. Now, what I could do is repaint. Canvas gone weird. Again, could repaint the Aquila and like just throw a Screaming Skull over there, redo that. No, that's not what we're going to do. Future reference. This looks awesome. I should have used orc skin from the top. Bugger. But at the very least, from a compare and contrast standpoint, speed paints just won the green game. Yeah, another language about pricing these days more than ever. Yeah, I've seen, I'm sure you've seen that meme where it's like the bunch of businessmen sitting around a table and it's like, I have more money than God. I could afford all these things. And then it like goes out and it's like GW. It's like, well, anyway, so that's what I think our core customer is like. Yeah. Yeah, dog. They're fucking plastic toys. What the hell are you doing? They don't need to be that expensive, but they are. Got to get on that 3D printing train. It's the next thing. It's been the next thing for a while now, and this project's kind of soaked up any spare change, but it's maybe time. It may be time. Because like once the core of this army's done, I don't know how many more Marines I'll be buying. And there are some fucking cool creators in the 40K space. If you can dream it, somebody's thought of it. You can probably get it for free. Which is pretty cool. Stormbolter. Riders on the Stormbolter. Quick and dirty. Man, this is a dream to paint compared to 10 minutes at a time on 20 different intercessors until my brain and back explode. That is another thing. I've got a chronic back injury, which has been more chronic than not lately. And it's been really fucking up my stride painting and content creation wise. There was a couple weeks there where after work, like I had to force myself to not work on anything just so I wasn't in this chair anymore. But it's getting better. I'm getting my pep in my step back. So we got a couple things in the hopper right now, which I need to dedicate some time and energy to. But by the end of the week, be a new Better Know a Faction video for Wasteland Warfare. Brotherhood of Steel review. It's taken longer than I had planned it to, just because life's been in the way, and I rewrote it a couple of times for a couple different reasons, but we got it, and it's gonna be a good one. But so that should be out Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the very latest. Oh. OBS just told me that it needed to reconnect. So if the stream suddenly dies, it says it's fine. So I'll choose to believe it. I don't know why. Touch wood. We've been tech issue free for a while on the live streams. And this is like the lowest intensity live stream we run. So I don't know why it would be having issues now, but looks fine. I should give up on this YouTube thing and be a hand model. That's right. I just need to find my my identical hand twin, like Joey Tribbiani. If only it were that easy. I could do a good Vanna White. Ooh. Now, Corbin, you know better than I about the 3D printing game. Corbin's one of my gurus when it comes to the printing stuff. But yeah, there's some guys doing some neat stuff in that 40K space. There's a YouTuber named Battle Brothers Sam, who his whole channel, and like, I gotta respect this guy so fucking much, is just about, hey, print this instead of buying this from GW, and here's the price difference. It's brilliant. Like, he gives 0 fucks, and it's fantastic. I mean, somebody, right, like, has to stick it to these motherfuckers. Which is why, like channels like Valrak, Battle Brothers Sam, the Painting Phase, like, guys who aren't afraid to, like, in the content creator space, say something bad about GW, and like, big ones. It's like, I talk shit about GW all the time. They don't fucking know who I am. They don't care who I am, right? That's fine. But like, you know, if the Warhammer girl, or like, I don't know, someone like that was suddenly like, hey, here's all the free 3D printing files for this $60 box set, would not go over well. So I gotta give it up. Because like, it's one thing with like if Modiphius put out something that I don't like, I tell you that I don't like it, right? Like when the Mr. Handy box set came out, I was like, this sucks. There's no fucking, it's the same model with 3 different bases. I was like, this is bad. They did a bad job. It was constructive criticism and feedback, and it hasn't ruined, you know, what little relationship we do have with them. But, you know, they're also not, you know, so big that they've got an army of recruited painters and video people and yada yada. Anyway, I'm just going off on a tangent now, but short story long. You can get your shit for fucking cheap by 3D printing it. And anyway, you can stick it to GDubs. It's fine by me. So we're at 6:30. We'll go till 7. That's a good call. We'll get this guy painted by then. Easy. Don't have much to do. Let's focus up. Let's go. Crux Terminus. Gold. Bam. Yeah, Mr. Handy was like a restock. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a cool set in that I own it. But it was one of the sets that Modiphius sent us for review and or giveaway. But I would have bought it regardless, because I love Mr. Handy's. But if I had seen my own review of it, I might not have. So, do with that information what you will. I was actually having a discussion with Friend of the channel on Dark and Wings today over on Instagram about the whole thing with the Leviathan box and it getting sent around to so many people. And I'll say this, if it's a limited item, I don't know why they're sending out dozens of review copies. Because every single one that they send out is one that someone doesn't get. Camera, stop that. There we go. So that's my gripe with it. If they want to send it to someone with 12 goddamn followers, that's their prerogative. Maybe that person with 12 followers is a really good painter, but who knows? But when it's a limited stock thing, I hate that. Mainly because I lived it. The fucking lion model. I woke my ass up on a Sunday or whatever it was to do the pre-order for the lion model, lion and retinue. Not a chance. Not a chance. There was never a chance. To be fair, I probably only saw 5 to 10 lions sent out as promo. So I was like, oh, okay, right? But the annoying thing is that there's been, at least not that I've seen, any talk about like other boxes, like they did with Indominus. Is there going to be a recruit edition, an elite edition, like bigger and smaller box sets? All I've heard about is Leviathan, and the rules are free online. This is supposed to be your onboarding edition, and you've got a limited edition starter set. What the fuck are we doing here, gang? I'm sure there will be, right? Like the Indominus box was the Indominus box. And then there were, editions that if I go in to my game store right now, I can get a recruit edition of 9th edition 40K. Yeah, man. Or, yes, Halloween scalpers. It's a problem. They say that they've taken steps after what happened with the Lion and the most recent Forge World. Like they're putting a bunch of stuff out of production, and the scalpers just made a run on it. Like there's a company that's doing this now. It's like a recruiting, like a, what do they call it? Multi-level marketing, like a pyramid scheme for people scalping 40K. And it's rotten, man. It's rotten. But, I mean, the nice thing is, none of the Leviathan stuff is going to be exclusive to that box, as far as I know. So, it will be gettable as far as the content, but I get it. You want the thing. You want the special edition thing. Camera. And it sucks when, for a quick buck, right, someone's going to take you to the cleaners. Actually, yeah, Valrak, Chapter Master Valrak, if y'all aren't following him on YouTube, did a video on that recently. And he actually talked to the guy over text. Just called him a wanker, basically. It was great. Yeah, it's worth watching. That I guess this is this company that does this, not just Warhammer, but whoopsies, but like any sort of limited edition, stuff that's coming out. And they try to walk it back, but what the mind? Stop doing that. I don't know why it does that. But 17 minutes to complete a Terminator. We got this. It's so funny. I fired up the stream because I was talking with Justin and the guys. Like, should I do a stream? I got painting to do tonight. I got all this stuff to work on. Should do it. Okay, so we'll do it. Fire it up. I'm like, okay, yeah, it would be. So I got all this painting to do, so I might as well do it. I have painted I will have painted 2 models in 2 hours by the end of this. It had the opposite effect, but let's be honest, I just enjoy this aspect of it. Let's put some uniform black for his rubberized. Yeah, camera's tired. Keeps dozing off. Me too. I am a tired boy today. It's been a weird week, sleep-wise. But I'm very excited once this stream is done to dig in to the Lion book. I kind of half fell asleep listening to it last night, so I have to go back a couple minutes, but shit's getting real. Go. Yeah, gotta say, painting these Terminators is a lot of fun compared to the monotony of those intercessors. But I'll probably be singing a bit of a different tune when I gotta tackle the last of the Deathwing Knights. I mean, a little like ADD with the last steps of this project. So I've got these 3 squads that I've been working on sort of all at the same time. And I don't know if it's been a better idea or not, but I just think this is only like details left on everybody. Which is not a bad place to be. And with like 2-3 weeks, we got this, gang. We got this. 5th Company is going to be ready. Now just watch it get tabled in fucking 2 turns. Oh, RC Walker, what was the game called where we build worlds For RPGs, yes, that was The Quiet Year by Avery Alder. Super fun. Anyone who hasn't seen, we did a 4-part series on that in our in between season 1 and season 2 of Fistful Neutrons. Very fun. You can get it online. Just look up The Quiet Year. And it's a great game. If you have Tabletop Simulator, there's a module for it as well. And yeah, we had such a great time playing that game. So different than anything else we've tried. Halloween. Why can't I say your name right? Jeez Louise. Did we ever hear about whatever happened to Yarek in the lore? Yes. Well, he died. We know this. And we know Gazgul is somewhere weeping. But I don't think there was a definitive this is how it happened. I was rather surprised to see that in general. It's always odd when they do take a character into legends, so to speak. Well, that's how I needed to replace the chapter master of this company. It was Balthazar back in fucking Dark Imperium days, or maybe after that, but he did. So Lazarus, it is. Which it bugs me that their names are so goddamn similar. Got them both. Actually just finished Azrael last night. Minus his banner, because I'll show you. I went bannerless. There's Laz there. All finished up. Robin Mankiller, hello. Welcome, nerds. Welcome. Yeah, but I opted not for his banner, which is here. I got it ready to go. But while I was painting him, I was also listening to Trials of Azrael, which is like a short story audiobook where Azrael and Karn, the betrayer, are squaring off. And there was this scene where like it talks about him like bending backwards while like the chain axe is swinging. And I was thinking about his fucking stupid banner thing. And I was like, how in the hell are you gonna like deftly be dodging one of the most deadly characters in all of 40K with this stupid stick coming out of your back? And I was like, no, we're not doing that. We're not putting that on him. So I will paint it and maybe like have it magnetize it for like, I don't know, display case kind of thing. But like, it never made sense to me. Why? Space Marines, like not like company ancients at the back of the pack, but like frontline dudes. A fucking flag looking up. Robin, watching all your Fallen Wasteland Warfare content for a few weeks. Wanted to stop by and say hello. Well, it's great to see you. Thank you so much for watching. That's amazing. Thank you for stopping in. Bit of a different thing today. We're doing some painting live streams. It's only the second one I've ever done. And we're painting Space Marines. Painting Dark Angels. Because 10th edition is here. I'm excited. I've got a game coming up in a couple weeks. And I gotta get my army ready. Because they're not. Okay. Let's do some quick. So I said I was going to have this guy finished by 7. So let's fucking crank it out. Well, I'm happy you popped in then, Robin. Because, yeah, we are having a ball. I may even, if I don't get, maybe I won't get them for 7. I'll just get them done when I get them done. Because I'm also enjoying this hangout today. A little lens. His eyes. Maybe a blue. Blue could be nice. For his lenses. Yeah. Let's give it a shot. I usually do red for my green Dark Angels. Oh my god. Okay. So I just took the paint off here. Wasn't looking. Went to go tip. Fucking tip came out too. Whoops. Almost dumped. Much better. An entire bottle of intense blue paint on my wet palette. Oh. Cheers! Almost 7. Yes, East Coast. East Coast time zone. I am based in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, North America, planet Earth, Milky Way. And Justin, who's the overseer on our season 2 of our live stream, he's also East Coast, located just outside the city. While Raj and Grant are in Mountain Time Zone in Alberta, Canada. So we don't discriminate as far as time zones. Although it does feel like the Eastern Zone can get shafted sometimes with streams and sport games. Everything starts so early or so late. The real question is, which universe are we in? That is the question, George Keith. George Keith! Hello, George. Did you just pop in? Have you been here the whole time? How drunk am I? I'm not. I've had less than a beer, but I like that intense blue. Hey? Well, you can see he's so bright. I might have gone a little heavy with the screaming skull when I airbrush this guy, but maybe I can see a little bit better. I think it's just my ring light is blowing him out. It's just hard to see with that blue, or at least it is on my screen, because my view of what you guys see is like that big. So if anything looks or sounds weird, you let me know. Came in around 4:40. Well, good to see you, pal. Yeah, we just got some chill beats and some chill brews and some Space Marines. It's a low-key time. But we're making progress. Shiny! Couldn't see it until put against the black backdrop. Oh, I'm glad it came through. Yeah, this... The bright whiteness of this bone color, like, it looks sharp on the tabletop, but taking pictures of it has been next to impossible. But speaking of, I gotta do something with this whole Aquila situation, because I'm not happy with how it turned out. Like you guys can see, we did a test, regular Dark Angels green. And this is Army Painter speed paint of orc skin. And I actually really like how it plays off the bone. But I don't like the standard Dark Angels green. So let's just go in. Some highlights. Warpstone glow. Try to bring some definition back to this thing. I for those just joining, had a weird situation with a contrast paint on this one where it like bled over and like it was, the weather is really weird here right now. And it's playing with my palette in odd ways. So we're just gonna bring back some of this detail here. There is not a lot of science going on here, folks. Playing Calvin ball. That's Deathwing. Yep, that's the bone, baby. You know, I was playing around with a much darker scheme with these at first. Pretty much just threw Xandri dust on there, and some Ushabti bone, which is the pretty classic Deathwing look, but it still felt too dark. So started playing around with the Screaming Skull, which, to be fair, the last Deathwing unit I painted was in like 2017. I've since sold that army, you know, all kinds of things. And never painted them with an airbrush before. So this was a different vibe, and decided to try bring it lighter. I could bring them back down with a wash or some. I think I'm gonna grimdark these guys a bit. Maybe not right away because, like I said, I'm trying to get them ready for an event specifically, and just want to get, you know, tabletop ready. But eventually, I may grunge them up. That's better, eh? It's a little more like what we're working with. And it's the same pattern I use for the Greenwing boys. Dark Angels green, and then Warpstone, or the contrast Warpstone version, whatever it is, and then Warpstone glow highlighting. So it matches a little bit. Orc screen looks awesome. Yeah, I agree. Ooh, Earthshade wash on there. Oh, that would be interesting. Mid brown maybe. Let's do a quick cleanup. The Ushabti bone from where that contrast paint went weird, and also it's a new brush. I've got like an array of brushes, but I've been using the same two for like the last few months. I keep going to like there's an art store down the block from me. I keep popping in. It's like, I'm gonna get a good nice brush for base layers. It's using the same ratty piece of shit. No, this is bad. This is a bad brush. Just go back to the same one. If it ain't broke, right? There we go. It's a little better. It's so funny painting on stream because I wouldn't be painting at this angle. I did the stupid camera thing again. Go back. If it weren't doing it live, but which lends itself to some interesting brushstrokes and mistakes. But also, like, well, you guys know me well enough by now to give a shit. We go tabletop quality around here, mostly because that's the only standard I can paint to. No golden demon entries coming around here, folks. That's just fine. Don't need to gamify or contextualize Warhammer any more than it already is. Ninja Termies. Yes, Robin, we've got a Discord. Let me just make sure I will send the link here. If it's not in the description, let me grab it for you. Invite link. Expire never. I hate that it makes you do that. And that ought to be our live stream, our Discord link right there. Hop on in. I would recommend painting the main body or any part that will be blocked. Yeah, this maybe not bad. I don't know how much I'm loving those blue lenses now. Man Killer, you're in. I see ya. You're in the Discord. You have arrived. Well done. Blue lenses. I don't know how I'm feeling anymore. Let me just get you on chat here quick. That Ranger was a nightmare. I'm assuming we're talking the NCR Ranger. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's a tricky one. Robin Mankiller, commission painter in Memphis, Tennessee. Well, thank you for stopping in to, this mediocre crap. There we go. Okay, we're caught up. There we go. Folks, thanks for sticking around. We'll get this bad boy on the go here. I'm gonna change gears with those blue lenses. Don't like them. Not into it. We're going red. We're not gonna think about it. Just gonna change horses midstream. We like it. We like it. Well, it's gonna look purple for a minute here. But that's fine. Yeah. I don't know if I love it, but I like it. That's good enough for me. Do a quick little cleanup of his cod piece. After I sullied it. Sullied? That's probably not the word I meant to use. Clean up some of these joints. My camera acting weird again. There you go, buddy. You're looking good. Yeah, can't wait till next week. We got the other rules coming, the indexes. Rather stoked. I'm really hoping that me building this Terminator squad with a plasma cannon is still going to be legal. Because as of this exact second, with the only Terminator data sheets we've seen, it ain't. But not having people to play with is also how Wasteland Warfare helped you over the edge into the hobby. Totally. Yeah, the AI aspect of that game was such a huge draw for me too. At the time, was living in a place where I didn't have a lot of people that I knew in the gaming community. AI mode, boom, you're off and running. It's there should be more single player modes for more games. For more games and war games. We're gonna do whatever in the hell is going on down here, and it looks to be like a winged leggy piece. So I'm gonna quickly knock out. Where the fuck did I go? There we go. The dangly bits on his shoulder pad. And I'll knock out that leg. And we'll do the knee pad there, 5th company, because that's my boys. And we'll call this bad boy done. We're done enough. Let's do his little leg thing here first. Plays not nice when it's in top-down mode. So the other option was to hook up my phone, but it was a whole thing. So yeah, it's when it rotates. It's a whole thing. But thankfully, it corrects itself within a fraction of a moment or two. But yeah, it'd be nice if it didn't do that. But yeah, the hype train, it's a coming. I'm really excited. So yeah, this event got going on. It's kind of like a welcome to 10th kind of thing. And it just sounds like a really good time. And I'm hoping to log in a couple games pretty early in the launch, because I don't know how much, after that I'll, how much occasion I'll have to play, yada, yada. So gonna capitalize on that hype train while it's going. Because, I had a goal of getting this army ready to have one game of 9th. And didn't make it. Mainly because they just put out 10th earlier than I thought they would. But there's worse problems to have. All right, knock out this leg detail. Nothing fancy. Gray, white. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna let that dry a moment. Again, the camera. It's this dang weather with this paint is acting so funny. Maybe it's the smoke from the wildfires. That could be nothing. I could be making that up. But there's a whole bunch of wildfires in Quebec right now. New Brunswick, I think, too. BC, Alberta. So, most of the country. It's particularly the wildfire smoke in Quebec, which is fucking with most of Ontario right now. And our American viewers are like, are these real places? Or are these planets in 40K? No, it's Canada. I punched my camera. It's like a real place, only different. There we go. I mean, punching the camera probably doesn't... Great. Now I've really goofed it. Oh, now it's upside down. Oh, now we're having a lot of fun. Here we go. I love this feature. It's so dependable. Yo, we're upside down, bro. You gotta do something different. You gotta do not that. That's too funny. You guys, I punched the camera. Hey, yo, it's upside down. Suck it. Take that, technology. And we're back to the leather brown. Excuse me, got distracted. For the tassels. So many tassels. They're so fancy. I mean, my Dark Angels like to put on dresses, tassels. They're fabulous. Hey, what's the chapter that wear dresses and run around, the kind of bad guys? Yeah, I'm gonna be them. Makes sense. Finding more joy in AOS. Oh, and KOW. Robin, you'll have to educate me. What is KOW? And I picked up Fallout and Infinity. You know, Infinity is the next big one for me, I think. For nothing but good things. The vibe, the lore, everything looks on point. All the battle reports I've seen look like a lot of fun. It's probably time. You know, it says much more usable and enjoyable stratagem equivalent. Lightweight. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I've heard mixed things about AOS. I've heard it's so easy and super complicated. So, I mean, it's the same as everything, I guess. But, yeah, I've never given it a spin. Old world / fantasy. The OG. I think I maybe had one game at the Games Workshop store in Calgary, Alberta. The kind of place that you went if you wanted to get beat up after by some cowboys. Who's laughing now? I'm still painting little dudes. You ain't no cowboy. Kings of War. Okay. That's a name I know. And now I will have to look into it more. I know just the name. I will not. You mother trucker. That's getting old fast, gang. I will have to look into Kings of War. Always looking for, you know, stuff that's not, right? Stuff that's not the big dogs. There are some studios making some amazing stuff that I'm sure I've never heard of, like Kings of War, for example. Okay. Gang, we are getting close. I mean, as close as a impromptu Tuesday night Terminator paint stream gets. And that he'll probably be the most mediocre painted one on the squad. But I painted him with all of you, which makes him extra special. In fact, we need to bring out his details on his bolter. And his shoulder pad. I think we'll call it a day. Do a little wet blend here of the very minimalist variety, in that I'm technically doing the thing because the two paints are wet. And everybody knows to be technically right is the best way of being right. Somebody asks, oh, did you paint that? Oh, excuse me. I wet blended it? Did you? Because it just looks like you painted it. Sir, this is a Wendy's. Mantic makes Kings of War. Ambush box is 500 points. Rules for 4. Wow. That's good. Official STLs. Now we're talking. It's the wave of the future. Anyone who resists it is doomed. Well, okay. Well, not anyone, because Games Workshop can and will resist the 3D community and weaponize an army of lawyers to do so. Anyone else who doesn't is leaving money on the table. See, this paint is reacting so strange. It's wet on the palette, on the brush, and then by the time I get over here, it's all fucked up. I have no proof, but I'm chalking it up to the smoke. And paint be weird. We know this. But it's being extra weird. You got like a full-on drop going on here. The playlist has changed on me, and I don't know what we're listening to anymore. The thumps, though. Stream beats. Eris Heller. keep it going. So funny, like on anything other than painting or like crafting, it's like 80s metal or like serious throwdown tracks. When I'm painting, crafting, I'm like, give me that Papa's baby. Mantic is quite interesting. They do, don't they? The almost goofed up pretty severely. Yeah, Mantic's doing cool stuff. The Asmodee folks, there's, I mean, it's a little bit bigger, obviously, but like, there's some really neat studios doing some really neat stuff. There's never been a better time to be a geek in general or a miniature painter. The corner has turned thanks to our Lord and Savior, Henry Cavill. Jokes, but not jokes. That guy is big show. Really glad the like Henry Cavill hype has gone quiet for a minute, though. It's kind of pathetic seeing like every YouTuber and their dog tag Henry Cavill in their video. It's like, well, guys, come on. We are almost there. We're going to do some highlights, and we're going to call this stream a day. Super quick on spots that are red. And we're going to make it happen. Tabletop Simulator. Yes. Love Tabletop Simulator. Halloween. Big fan. Oh, yeah, and they've got Kings of War on there. If I'm understanding that correctly. Then I will take a look. And that's actually how got into Legion, Star Wars Legion. Saw the game, looked cool, wanted to know how it played, found a mod on Tabletop Simulator. Boom. Bought it a week later. Just some quick edge highlights, nothing fancy. In fact, the opposite of fancy. Oh, I just realized I never painted the back half of this Stormbolter silver. So that'll be the last thing we do. Just quick corner points here, just to catch the eye. Nothing fancy. Anything's on TTS if you look hard enough. That's true. Nice thing with the mods is that if it's not there, you can get it there pretty easy. In fact, you can still find some Fallout Wasteland Warfare and Wasteland Warfare RPG modules that I made back in the height of pandemic days. Stupid fucking camera. By the next time we do one of these, I'll have a different overhead camera. You know what? I'm going to cheat just a little bit. Because from the tabletop, you will never see the underside of his chain fist. So I'm just not gonna paint it. I'm not gonna feel bad about it either. Rather than edge highlight, I'm just gonna give the whole Deathwing insignia this intense red. So I've got it really watered down. So it's acting a bit more like a glaze now. Anyway. So I think it'll achieve about as much highlighting as a real edge would do. Though I certainly should. What should I do? I don't remember what I was saying. That's the problem of rambling on these streams. Learning to 3D model. Wow. Yeah, that another frontier, which is yet to cross. Getting a printer will be the next hobby purchase of, you know, any significance that I make. I've been saying that for a while now. Oh, cheating white painting. Well, I could paint it. I could paint it, RC Walker. I'm not going to. And you know what? That's gonna be just for us. Just for us, 10 human beings, 11, including myself, in this chat, who will know that one Terminator, his chain fist, it's not painted all the way. It's not painted all the way. I know, Ryan. Those extra 10 points for tabletop quality standard, you stole those. They're not painted. If you rat me out, then we will have words. All right, gang. We got a silver chain fist. Chain fisty bits. It's a weird angle. I will paint the tubes, because those you will see. Even though I can barely see them right now. Oops. And the pièce de résistance. Shoulder, not shoulder pad, his knee pad. Which I quickly need to reference, is black on the left bottom. Fifth Company, Dark Angels is a little checker square. Black on the bottom left, green on the top right, and white everywhere else. So let's see if I can do this without having to go over again with white. Maybe I can leave it just on the bone. Probably not. Let's find out. Start from the inside. Oh, this paint is a weird consistency. I recommend anything with the Anycubic. Oh, the mono. Yes, I've seen the model. I believe the 4K, 8K. I cannot explain that. And I thought we were going to, but I just have so much fun when we do these. So yeah, hoping to do more of these hobby hangouts. Trying to aim for like once a month right now, just because with everything else we have going on with the channel, it's a little hard to commit to anything beyond that. But maybe we'll do bi-monthly, first week of the month, end of the month. But yeah, it's what, the 6th first week of the month. So yeah, we'll aim for another one maybe by the end of the month, if not at the beginning of July. But thank you all so much for tuning in. Always a blast to get to paint with any folks and just talk nerdy stuff about all this stuff. If you haven't already, jump on in and join our Discord as well. I'll pop the link in here one more time for anyone who hasn't joined. Get on there. We're talking Fallout, Wasteland Warfare. We're talking painting, 3D printing, Warhammer, everything off topic. If you want to chat about it, there's someone in here who can chat about it with you. So thanks again so much for watching. New friends, old friends, Frank M, RC Walker, George Keith, Halloween. Who else we got? Robin, Man Killer, Corbin Bear. We got all kinds of friends jumping up through here as well. And Steve Heineman, I was here earlier, good friend of the channel, and Raptor43 CA. Thank you all so much. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. We've got a new Better Know Faction Fallout video coming out by the end of the week. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, in that window. New Skyrim Battle Report, part 2 of the Fallout. The Forge in the Fire is coming. It's all happening. And we've got another live stream, live show on the 11th. So there you have it. Thanks for stopping in. We'll be back sooner than later. And bye-bye.